Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard the Diz Idiots podcast. For today, July 20th, 2021, we'll be bringing you all the news from around the world, Disney World. I'm your host, Dozer. We also have, over that way, Bruce. And down there, we have Brian, who sadly the music has ended for because it did not let me have that long of a clip. Doot, doot. So, I think we just want to get in, right now, all the resorts are going to be opening back up.
Yep, all of them.
I got a hotel room, but it's not at a DVC resort. Well, it's at a DVC resort, but it's not a DVC room, so still go fuck you. But I'm at Jumbo House, so I'll take it. But...
Jumbo!
Well, and right now it's like they're doing phases of bookings. Like, yeah, by the end of the year, all the hotels will be open. So.
Yeah, DVC's not doing a good job of taking care of their most loyal guests at the moment. That's my personal opinion. But hey, I'm going, we've had our first encounters dealing with the park reservation system.
Yep.
It sucks.
Yep. Yes, it does. When are you guys going?
We are going the week after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Because we know the best weeks to go, and that is among them.
Yes, it is. Right after the holiday.
Right after the holiday when nobody's pulling their kid out of school.
Nope. Oh, excuse me.
But, the park reservation system, we can get it to work on the app, which is great. We can make initial park reservations. But we have one we want to change, and to do that, we need to do it on the computer.
Right.
And guess where it's not working?
Computer.
For the last 2.5 days.
Well, I've actually had to call Disney a few times for clients, and one in particular, I've been on hold. Well, actually, I called them 3 times already, and they put me on hold all 3 times. They go, "Oh, well, our servers are backed up. We'll call you back in a couple hours or 2. Never got a phone call from them.
You're Disney. You can do better.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that to get my daughter an annual pass, my wife spent 4 to 5 hours on the phone is absolutely ridiculous and crazy and should not happen. I get it. You're not selling annual passes. But she's my daughter, and we both have them.
Right. She should be like grandfathered in or something.
Well, even if you're grandfather, the problem is the ticketing system itself. You most likely probably, if they don't have that accessible or those pages could be locked, you need a manager authorization. Disney call centers overloaded, not enough managers to go around. So that could be the workaround that they were looking for. Which, having worked there, that is a possibility. There's all sorts of options. Also, there's a chance they just suck at their job because we haven't had to do that anymore. I don't remember how.
Well, the real problem was, initially we called DVC because DVC handles all of this stuff for us.
Right.
We spent an hour on hold with them. They go, "Oh, nope, Central Ticketing needs to do that." Call Central Ticketing. Wait an hour. Talk to them. They go, "Oh, I need a manager." Another half hour. Get a manager. Oh, that manager's not the right manager.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to just call and go, "Yeah, can I please speak to Bob Chapek?"
Yeah, and you think he knows anything about this? He'd send you back to the managers.
I know. Yeah, he would.
Bob Chief as Chapek don't know shit about this. I guarantee that. Prove me wrong, Bob. Go ahead. Prove me wrong. Please, feel free.
It's like, let me speak to your manager. It's like, which manager? I don't know. Give me the highest person. Who? Well, the guy that runs the show. Mickey Mouse? No, Bob Chapek.
He doesn't run the show. He just tells people not to spend money.
Yeah, actually, who do I want to? Can I get Michael Eisner? Well, he hasn't been with us for years. He still has a high likelihood of getting things done for me.
Yes.
You betrayed the shareholders.
But that is most likely the issue with the call center is that once they would have less people. Unfortunately, we've started opening up. We have not enough. It truly is a most likely a case of knowing the company and what's been going on. Too many calls, not enough agents, and not enough people who know how. You have people that have been brought back. I haven't done this in months. Not only that, this isn't existing. Well, we're going to take it out of the system. They're not thinking of this exact situation of we need a grandfather in, and we have it. And rightfully so, this should be a situation where that's remedied. But they might have, the people at the glass top, the top of the mountain, a thunderstorm, don't realize, hey, that's a really stupid idea. We shouldn't get rid of that altogether yet. Don't you love people who the ones who make the rules are actually acting on it? Happens every time.
Also, I was able to get my annual pass. Still not a fan that they're forcing everybody to just buy adult tickets.
Yeah,
that's just not right.
No, yeah, that's not right either.
But what am I going to say?
They've gotten too big. They don't see it. They've gotten too big and they don't care. In a lot of respects is because I'm unhappy. I'm not going to go anymore. 5 more are going to take your place. Hell, Hydra.
Yeah,
it's true.
It is true. I think it is Hydra. You're right. Disney is Hydra.
And they got because they've gotten so big. It is just people. There's plenty of Disney people dying for a trip. They'll come.
How many heads? How many heads do I need to cut off to get my villains park?
Ask Hercules.
Actually, no. Ask Hades. Hades would know the answer to that question. Not Hercules. Wouldn't it be Hades?
Real Hades or Descendants Hades?
I've never. Yeah, James Woods, hands down. Yeah, I never saw The Descendants. So who plays Hades in that?
Not James Woods. Who cares?
It's somebody somewhat famous because I remember we were watching it with my cousin and she was doing, oh, he's in it. Why didn't you tell me? I would have watched this much happier.
Oh, is it one of the guys from Glee?
No.
Oh, okay.
Hades. Give me a second.
Don't forget Hades. Hades was also in Once Upon a Time too.
Oh, Cheyenne Jackson.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Who?
I don't see it. Cheyenne Jackson. He's done American Horror Story. He's a theater guy. He's done a lot of different things.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Pretty boy.
He's the only reason Descendants 3 is worth watching, but it's shockingly worth watching.
He's actually a very good actor. He is. I still won't be seeing Descendants 3. I saw Descendants 1 once upon a time, and it was perfectly okay.
Oh, they're perfectly okay, terrible movies, but they're a Disney Channel original. You get what you get.
Right. You have younger family members. I only see mine once in a while, and when I do, I can make them watch things that aren't that.
Speaking of Disney original movies, do you guys remember the Kirsten Dunst, Steve Guttenberg Tower of Terror?
Yeah.
Well, yes, of course I do. They still sell the DVD.
How about the fact that Scarlett Johansson starring a new Tower of Terror movie?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to.
That's going to put butts in the seats. That's what everyone. Oh, we need a new Tower of Terror movie because wow, that's going to sell things.
Gee, I almost wonder. Do you think this might be their get out of jail card by saying, "Hey, with doing a new Tower of Terror film, we're going to change the ride that's inspired by the movie, just like Jungle Cruise and Pirates and all that stuff." Because the licensing. Well, the deal with CBS Twilight Zone is I think going up for renewal or something like that because they don't actually own the CBS rights anymore. Or they don't own the Twilight Zone. CBS, Paramount, or whatever owns the Twilight Zone.
But it's very easy to fix because unlike other attractions, it's an audio thing mostly in signage. It's a very easy fix to get rid of the words Twilight Zone. You can you can keep the story and you can literally keep the ride exactly the same and just change a couple of key elements and you're good.
I personally think it should be something that ties in with the SCA. They use the high tower from Tokyo Disney Sea. That should be the new Tower of Terror film. They should do something about Hightower and connect it with Jungle Cruise.
I'm always happy to see them all link. I'm not sure how I feel about just pulling in the Hightower thing. I was thinking, we have them kind of becoming more IP based as much as we hate it. And I'm literally flying by the seat of my pants here, but I'm thinking maybe something TVA based. I don't know what. That's why they pay Imagineering.
You're thinking about turning the Tower of Terror into Loki.
Yeah.
That
you don't need Loki.
I know you don't need Loki. So, oh man, yeah, you know what?
It's less about the character, and it more goes to plans in the area. That might work depending on what plans you have in the area. And I say that because, remember, you have a certain ride in that exact location, which may or may not be up. Once again, the discussion continues of, are we going to have our licensing back for this? Or who's signing a contract and everything? In theory, you could fudge things to change in certain ways. It depends on how they want to do with, especially when it comes to Marvel properties and Disney World. Not Disneyland, but Disney World. It depends on, are they okay having, like, we have Guardians, is probably going to be a standoff there? Do they have bigger plans they haven't told anybody yet? That's the kind of questions. The TVA would be an easy redo. I agree, it would be an easy redo. But even, I think, I don't know who the head of the company. I don't know who the company. I don't know who the head of Hollywood is right now, and how they would feel about things. But I'm just thinking about. I'm just thinking about the guy upstairs, and since he's liable to, I think he's liable to just say, "Okay, let's remove the words Twilight Zone." Ride doesn't have to change. It was never. It was never an episode. It was never a real episode.
Right.
But change the name. You have to change the pre-show. Yeah, that is straight from an episode. Dubbed over.
Well, I shouldn't say that. There are things in the attraction you do have to gut. Correct.
You have to cover some of it.
Well, would you still use the old 1939 hotel, or would you transform it like the Collectors and Mission Breakout out in California?
I think that depends what the new movie's like.
Right.
Already at the other park, not happening.
What's
Too much, not happening.
Well, he's just saying we could change the outside. He's not necessarily saying making it the Collector's Vault.
Oh,
no,
okay.
Yeah.
You could.
I'm just saying the storyline. Like, do we still keep the hotel, or do we change it into a different story altogether?
It depends. You could easily change. There's a lot of things you can easily change with minimal cost, because it has become the de facto icon of the park. That becomes the question.
Right.
The Guardians, Tivon's Tower is ugly. UGLY.
I mean, the ride's fun.
Oh, the ride's amazing. The ride is an incredible upgrade and a half. Hell yeah, best ride, best one of the towers out there. There, I said it.
Right.
Kicks the pants off of Disney World as it currently stands, and I love me some Tower. Because it's taking place of the Earful. I'm curious. I think I would leave it. I would leave that the same. Again, depends on the whole plans of it.
Right.
I think the hotel thing works because it gives you so much wiggle, so much room to work with. You could do all sorts of things. It could even be, we're keeping with the music motif, and this you can make up a haunted band thing to go along with your record studio next door. Just things like that. There's a lot. I'm saying I think they're more likely to do something on the less expensive side with Tower, because also you have to remember one thing here. We're talking changes to one of the gold standard attractions on property. Tower, it runs like a well-oiled machine. That's what makes me think whatever they're going to do, it's going to be on the cheaper end.
There's a reason I walk by it if I see a longer than 20-minute wait, because I know, give it an hour. It'll be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, you have to film a new pre-show, not that hard. Remove some things from your pre-show, not that hard. Remove some things from your ending area and your filming in between, not that hard. Again, when I say not that hard, I'm talking in the grand scheme of gutting Splash Mountain. Compared to, we're going to make Splash Mountain Princess and the Frog, a lot of these things got to go.
Yeah, and you know, interesting you should say that because they've been silent ever since they announced Splash Mountain. They've been like nothing's been on the table of when the construction will start, when they have an opening date for this ride. Like they were just like, hey, we're doing this. And then soon after it was like, oh, COVID hit. And then we're just like,
it wasn't for prime time.
It was knee-jerk reaction. Two, people seem to think this was going to be an easy thing. This is a big project. This is basically building a new attraction. You have to gut a water ride. Also, do they really want to bring Splash Mountain off for the year of the 50th? I don't think so.
No.
I have a great idea. Let's take the Magic Kingdom, and we're just going to take one of our biggest attractions out of there. They wouldn't close Space Mountain to do a big enough redo because they were too afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they haven't got. I think, Ryan, I agree with you. They've only got radio silent, though, in my opinion, because ain't nothing to say. Because I think what they're doing is they want to get everything ready behind the scenes in animatronics, whatever they're going to do. Get ready and hit the ground running. They don't want more of this. Is Tron? People go, I think Tron's not going to finish. I think they're scrapping the project. They're stopping work. And same thing with Guardians. I don't think they want that.
No, and I think California. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that California is going to open up the new Splash Mountain first, because I guess it's a lot easier of transition because it's literally right next to New Orleans Square. So they are just basically getting rid of that Critter Country section, and it's just going to be. And I guess they're even converting, from what I saw in the layout, Winnie the Pooh. They're even going to tie into the whole thing is going to be this massive New Orleans Square. So Critter Country, they're going to get rid of altogether, and it's just going to be the Bayou with Princess and the Frog, and then there's the Honeyacre Woods, but it's in the woodland swamp or something like that.
To be fair, the Honeyacre Wood can just be anywhere. You can easily say the Honeyacre Wood exists inside the attraction proper. It's an easier transition. I agree, depending on what they want to do. Also, it could just be they could have an easier access to it. Disneyland also can survive without Splash Mountain more than Disney World is always concerned because of the bigger draw for tourists, which is they relies more on locals. That's why. Remember, they have no problem taking Haunted Mansion offline for a month to make a Haunted Mansion holiday, something they never would consider here, depending on what you want to believe. But something they more or less they don't want to take it offline.
So, my guess is Splash Mountain will come down for refurbishment either mid-November 2022 or beginning of January 2023. And they will try to have it be a 6-month due.
I think it's going to happen. I think they're going to run through the holiday. Remember, Splash Mountain always goes for a yearly rehab. It would just make sense. And they can even bill it. This is your last holiday with it. Splash Mountain's going down for the big rehab now.
So that my initial thought was January for its yearly rehab. The only reason I think they could push it to November
to get something open for the summer.
They could get it open. It's already a little bit cooler in December, so theoretically ridership's going to be lower, and they don't need it as a draw. The holiday's enough of a draw. The end of the 50th is enough of a draw. They don't need it to draw at that time.
Right.
I think they're going to try to do it in 6 months or less.
I was just gonna say I thought maybe that would be one of the big draws for the 100th anniversary of the company for the 2023 year.
But I have. What about the railroad?
Oh,
that's my only reason I thought January. I'm being serious here. I forget the layout. I remember where it is and everything. Can they do? They can. I know they can do internal construction, but do they think they can run the railroad at the same time? That's the big 100. That's the big question here. I personally, of what I remember being back there, it's been a while. In the Park 3 area, yes, but I still think the railroad probably like Toontown is going to have because it's just a general concern thing.
we can't catch a break with this railroad. You know,
Again, it may not have to. They may
I
need to
know.
do it, but that's the one thing. Just considering is that could be the other reason of we don't want to take that railroad down. Do we have to? They may not have to, but that could
Right.
be. That's just again. That's how they think. That could be the X factor. But otherwise, I agree with Dozer. Probably in November makes a more sense idea.
It
Frankly, I would say end of you're right. End of October, middle of November. Just you got to pull the rip. The problem is there's no good time. You got to pull the ripcord at some point.
Yeah, and the 100th anniversary of the company is a great idea, but that is not going to be a big celebration in the world. It'll be big in California, not in the world.
Really? You don't think that they would?
Not with the world coming fresh off the 50th. They can't make big changes.
It's a company-wide thing. You can have things open for it, but I don't think it's going to be. It's a general celebration of the whole company. I don't think you're going to have. Because honestly, I do think they're missing the mark with some of this. Some things I think they would have really liked to open this year because the 50th is a huge thing.
Yeah, huge milestone.
But the 100th anniversary of the company is just a little different. That's more going to be into the movies and everything. Now, to Brian's credit, to give you a point here.
Thank you.
We're going to get rid of one of our big blemishes and replace it with, I'm just going to say it, the first African American princess, so the first, of that.
Well,
so that I could see them pulling as a write it off, pull it in. But I agree with Dozer here, probably going to be more in California because, again, the company was out there and everything first before it was here.
True.
So any of the big events will be in California. If there's a big star or something they do, it'll be California.
Disney World doesn't need that. Disney World just needs to open up their stuff. They just need to get Tron done, Cosmic Rewind done, whatever the heck else is going to happen incidental. Remember, what's the big thing for the 50th? Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Woohoo. New fireworks.
They're dangling the cheese in front of us. Come October 1st.
Hey, look, it's a mouse regardless.
Hey, not to mention, I was just going to say, I wish they actually, when you got off the ride, out in Disneyland Paris, as soon as you get off the ride, you walk into Remy's, restaurant or something like Ratatouille restaurant. And I was hoping they would do that, but we got a crepe stand instead. I'm like, I guess I could deal with crepes. It's still like a quick service.
Run them in and out. There's a lot of things I just, playing with fire here. It's a known thing that unless you get this bad boy up and running now, it's a known thing. Your attraction's probably not going to go well. I also have mixed feelings of, it's our 50th! Our new attraction! It's the 50th! It's at Epcot and not the Magic Kingdom. Ooh.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not Epcot's 50th. And it's Walt Disney World Properties 50th. Technically, still not Epcot's 50th. 50th. When I was there for the 40th, they was everywhere. But the big thing, everything was down the street. Which, if you're listening to Disney, don't make that mistake again. Merchandise should be made fair and equal. Do not make people walk on those roads again. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That is fair.
Do you think next year's for the 40th, do you think that's going to be a big thing for Epcot?
No.
Really?
Their big thing would be Cosmic Rewind. Remember, Epcot, they're going to have merchandise. Epcot just had things, and they're just like, oh, yeah, it's hard to do. Celebrations are going to happen so often, it's going to start becoming a numb feeling.
Right.
Also, the Epcot one's a little bit weirder, because Magic Kingdom has opening day attractions they can celebrate.
You're right. Epcot has...
Spaceship Earth?
Yeah, I was like, there has to be one more besides Spaceship Earth. And I was like, technically, Imagination's not the original attraction.
No.
What about Living with the Land? When did that come out?
I think that was a year or two after. I don't think that was opening day.
Okay.
That's it. We're shutting down Soarin' and bringing back Kitchen Cabaret. You're right. That's the only solution.
That's what
Soarin's out of here. Get rid
of it. No, you know what? Bring Kitchen Cabaret to Tower of Terror. Combine the two. Why not both?
there's some people that might say it was a Tower of Terror. You can make the whole thing a giant milk carton or refrigerator. You're welcome.
Just leave it the way it is. Just leave the whole thing the way it is. Forget the pre-show. It's still a haunted hotel and all this stuff. It's just that the scenes when you go up and down, it's all veggie, fruit, or like.
Are you sure it shouldn't be It's a Small World?
Tutti frutti, oh Rudy.
Every time you go up, it's like a different song from Kitchen Cabaret. People are like, "The hell am I listening to?"
Ham and eggs.
Oh dear God.
Yeah.
Well, we were just talking about a nearby attraction that's going to need a new band soon, supposedly, if you listen to some people. Why not Kitchen Cabaret?
You mean for the last decade? Oh, that would actually be nice. I'd like that.
Wait, is this the same attraction that's been rumored for the Jonas Brothers for the past 15 years?
Well, not at this point, but yeah.
Let's face it. Name a band that hasn't been. I heard Hot Chili Peppers, for Christ's sake, as a rumor at one point.
Now, have you guys heard the idea? Well, it's not an idea. It's actually happening. But the Rock and Roller Coaster out in Disneyland Paris is going to be Iron Man.
Yes.
And instead of Aerosmith, it's AC/DC. How cool is that? Like, if they can get the rights for Iron Man to come to, I know they can't because of the whole thing with Universal and yada yada yada.
Are you sure about that?
Is the agreement?
It's hard to say. I'm pretty sure Iron Man is included, but he's a meet and greet. I doubt it would happen. But again, that's what I said. Do they have internal? It depends if they have internal plans for that section of the park. Because
I'm just going to come right here and say Iron Man is a no-go.
I know it's a no-go.
No, it's a firm no-go because they were not allowed to have the monorail do the Epcot loop when it was the
that's true.
Iron Man rail because it entered a park.
Yes, that's true.
It could only do the Resort and Express loop.
All I'm going to say is this. I know what the contracts saying are. Negotiations certainly can be possible. I'm just going to say that. All I'm going to say is Springfield.
Yeah, and it's a dirty, dirty contract because
Springfield.
I know about.
Yeah, that's a big question that no one truly. There's someone knows the answer, but as a fan, I'm not really. I don't know what the contracts possibly say.
The rumor is that it gets really muddy with the Marvel contract because it's worded in like the Avengers and X-Men. Mm-hmm. Not specific characters, those franchises, with the problem being everybody's a fucking Avenger.
Yeah.
Like,
I think if I remember correctly, it was something to do, reading in the contract, it said something to do with comic book likeness. Like, basically, like, taking the characters from the comic books, but not from the films.
But
it's also
they're all based off the comic books. It's really, really muddy. So
it's only the ones that are actually shown at Universal. So like the cutouts of the park itself, any of those characters Disney can't use in a park in Florida.
But what about Ironheart? That's what I'm saying. I'm not so sure everything's as iron tight as we think. Guardians is here. That's what I'm saying. Iron Man might be out. We have
Ironheart. Why Ironheart? Why can't we use War Machine?
Pretty sure War Machine's going to be out then. I say Ironheart because she's one of my more minor characters to have the show coming. But I'm just theorizing. Ironheart. Iron Man and War Machine probably a no-go, which really saddens me because Disney is going to be bringing the 4 in, and I'm just going to say it. Dune needs a better attraction than what he's given.
Mm-hmm.
I said it.
But the other thing about the comic book likeness loophole, there's the problem that Marvel, before Disney acquired, had a habit of then making the comic books kind of look like the movies. Nick Fury suddenly looked like Samuel L. Jackson. Like,
It just with the whole comic book likeness thing, it basically just that's just like Iron Man's out, War Machine's out. That's why I said Iron Heart, because once you break out of the original Avengers and X-Men stuff, it starts to get a little weaker. Or more weak, I should say.
Pretty much it's counting out the big ones like Captain America, Hulk, Iron Man,
Spider-Man. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
Black Widow, probably Hawkeye, like pretty much the main cast of the Avengers, Thor, those guys. And
that's the funny thing. Thor might not be out.
Really?
You can't copyright a Greek god.
True.
Thor's not out, but the Thor we know from the Marvel Universe is.
Yes. Yeah. Just like Loki can't really be out. You can't copyright a Greek god. DC has these characters as well.
But you can't copyright a variant. Because, sure, we can't have Loki, Tom Hiddleston Loki, but who's to say we can't have a variant Loki?
We can have Gator Loki.
Oh, I was thinking of what's her face, Sharon or whatever the female.
Sylvie.
Sylvie. That's it, Sylvie.
It starts getting to a gray area there.
I know, but I'm just saying that could be the shades of gray that Disney says.
Yeah, but is that what Disney really wants to do? We can't get Loki, so we're gonna have variant Loki. No thanks.
I have one word for you.
Plus, I don't want Loki. Enough. Why? Because next one it's going to Eastman, and Universal's going to give us Gambit. No.
Hey. Just think of it this way. We're going to get this pedantic because we had enhanced individuals of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
And not to mention the Inhumans.
I just don't want Gambit. I don't get the appeal. I don't even get the appeal of Loki, to be honest.
I get the appeal of Gambit as a character because he's kind of like a badass character. Other than that, though, he's not that good.
He's David Copperfield with exploding cards. Next, with a Louisiana accent.
I used to love Gambit from the animated series until I saw Gambit from X-Men Origins Wolverine. I go, no, not my Gambit.
You liked Gambit. We all liked him in X-Men Evolution and such, or Extreme X-Men. We all liked him there because it was a better version. But come on, I'm sorry. I'm not afraid of exploding cards.
Yeah.
Look, you may have hated him in Wolverine Origins, but he was the second best thing in that movie.
What was the first best thing?
The end.
Ryan Reynolds. The definitive Deadpool. Even though, he eventually became the weird mute-ass Deadpool we don't want to remember.
Yeah, that's right.
Before then, he was the merc with a mouth.
You're right.
The credits rolled at the end. I really liked that bit. That could have continued.
I completely forgot he was in that movie.
I've never actually seen the second Wolverine movie. I've seen the first and the third.
Oh, with the Silver Samurai? Yeah, you're not missing much.
I didn't think so.
The only thing that came from that second film was that it was the post-credit scene. The post-credit scene made the whole film totally worth it because...
Okay, listen, Wonder Woman 1984. I don't care what anyone says. Post-credit scenes don't make a movie worth it. I didn't sit through 2 hours of movie, my ass getting numb, Shakespeare style, for a post-credit scene.
Let me rephrase it. I should have just paid for a ticket to walk in after the credits just to watch the post-credit scene.
You should have not even paid for a ticket.
Is that the one where movie? Is that the one where Logan finally says "fuck you" to Tony? Because that's my favorite post-credit scene in all of Marvel.
No, it's when he's talking to Charles and Magneto.
Okay.
It introduces the Days of Future Past.
Yes.
Oh, yes, because that was an excellent movie.
Well, okay.
That's the best X-Men movie.
Really? The original? The very first one?
I shouldn't say that. I did enjoy, listen, I enjoyed D-Fop. Here's my thing.
Go back and rewatch the first X-Men movie. Just do that.
No, don't do it. It's not good.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with the X-Men
It did not hold up.
The problem with D-Fop is it wasn't bad, but it gave us hope that finally Apocalypse was going to be good, and I'll be honest with you. I'm going to be real honest here. This is true honesty here. I literally watched puddles dry up, and it was more exciting than Apocalypse.
Oh.
It was such letdown. I haven't been that let down by a movie I've been built up in my head for so long. It was Duke Nukem Forever style letdown.
Oh,
Can I tell you, and I'm just going to, if you're out there, consider this a spoiler warning, because I may spoil shit in this. The Apocalypse movie makes me so nervous about having Egyptian Kang because it was that bad.
And that's something we don't have to worry about, because this is a character they ain't gonna mess up. Because there is a lot of Kang to go around, and if that means we're getting Immortus,
We've already seen the Immortus version, in my humble opinion.
So that's a good segue. Spoilers.
Yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen Loki,
or been online or lived.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
We're gonna spoil it for those who haven't. So if you haven't,
or
seen it,
save time.
Yeah. God, Miss Minutes. I love her.
Okay, but did we all see that we had a Miss Minutes fight scene that was cut? Why? Why?
Wait, what?
There was a Miss Minutes fight scene that was cut from. I don't know if they filmed it, but there was going to be a Miss Minutes fight scene, and they got cut from the show.
Who was she gonna fight? Oh, please tell me Owen Wilson. Please tell me she was gonna fight Owen Wilson.
Don't know. Don't care. Tara Strong deserves better. Tara deserves her light in the sun.
Yeah,
absolutely. And I do feel that the season was short, one episode at least.
You know, I felt like this entire season was a pilot.
It was.
The idea that they dropped 6 episodes, I'm like, you couldn't go for the 7 or even just 10, giving us 10 Winter Soldier and the Falcon.
Well, Winter Soldier and Falcon, weren't they half-hour episodes? Weren't they shorter?
They were 45 minutes.
No, that was Wanda.
Ah, yes. Sorry, I'm getting my shows confused.
Yeah, Wanda was the shortest. I actually think this would have been better to be 10 half-hour episodes. I liked Loki better than I thought I would, but I still struggled with it. And even the end, it felt anticlimactic because it set everything up. I also have a reservation with this, and hopefully I'm wrong. This, to me, feels like the first show that if you didn't watch it, you're going to be missing a lot. And they promised us that wouldn't be the case. Again, I don't care that that's the case, but don't lie to us. I don't like that. It cheapens it for me.
I feel like this show definitely opened up Pandora's box.
Well, now, to be fair, they set up, it was heavily going to be Kang. We already knew Kang was cast in Quantumania. Way to keep that one a surprise. I mean, spoiler alert. They announced who he was playing for Christ's sake. The moment I saw him, I'm like, oh, it's Kang.
But can we just take a moment to appreciate Jonathan Majors?
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh, so happy he's here. I am so happy. We're not just going to get a little bit of him. We're going to get a lot of him playing a lot of different versions of himself.
I can't wait.
Excited about that.
He's gonna be like James McAvoy in Split. We're gonna see so many versions of Kang. It's gonna be insane.
Please don't mention that movie.
Well, I love that movie. That movie was good.
It was better than Unbreakable. I'll give you that. Split's not a bad movie. The problem is the movie before it and after it are not great.
Fair enough. But I just can't wait to watch him play Evil Kang, which is a weird thing to say.
He's going to be you're going to hate him. He's going to be so good.
For those out there who don't know who Kang is, Thanos is kid and play compared to Kang.
Yes.
Kang the Conqueror, and not only that, we have so many versions of him. Kang, where other people have powers, Kang uses science and technology.
Yeah.
If you've seen Loki, you'll know what I mean.
He's 5 steps ahead.
So here's where I think you are. Kang's 5 steps ahead. There's infinite amounts of Kangs, as there are of everybody, really.
Yes.
Right.
But so where I don't think you're going to miss anything by not seeing Loki, but you'll know a little bit more, is I think after which one comes out first, Quantumania,
or which comes out first for what?
Which is the first real movie we're going to see Kang in?
Quantumania. He's casting Quantumania. We have no idea what capacity.
The big thing that is going to happen is they're going to defeat him in that movie. And the post-credit scene is going to be Kang. And they're going to go, didn't we just beat you? Who?
Yeah.
Whereas if you've seen Loki,
yeah,
you'll know this before you go in, but it's not going to spoil it for the people who haven't seen Loki.
Right.
I know a lot of
it gets them to go back to watch Loki.
Well, I know a lot of people who have said the King Kang at the end, would you see him in the future in the full suit, they akin to just of Thanos' head turning around at the end of the Avengers. They said it's the same thing. It's like, okay, here we go. Get ready. You don't know it yet. He's already told you what's gonna happen, but you don't even know. Also, because he's gonna be the next big bad. We have other big bads who are going to come in, big bads who are not just going to come into the mix, but they're not going to go away. 4 letters starts with the D. You do the math.
The thing I'm excited for, and I think it's going to be a twist in Avengers 5 or whatever the next Avengers is.
I believe it's going to be the Young Avengers.
That's what they're saying.
And they're setting it up for the Young Avengers.
WandaVision supports it.
Yes, they all support it.
They all do.
Well, they all do, but now that we have Wiccan, we're going to have, spoiler alert, She-Hulk is definitely going to have Hulkling in it in some way, I bet.
But what we're going to get is, and I just hope, it's my hope, is a good variant of Thanos fighting alongside.
Thanos normally appears as a villain.
He does. That's why it's a twist.
Right, and the thing is, this also is not only for the Young Avengers, but for the Secret Wars.
Let's face it, we have Secret Wars. We have, depending on which way you want to look at it, Dark Avengers, Thunderbolts they're setting up. Depending on which, again, they could go either way on that, and I'm okay with that because we have a lot of characters coming into play. We have a lot of characters who are still going to be introduced to, we don't even know yet, that, Daredevil could be coming in.
Squirrel Girl.
Yeah, Squirrel Girl. Jessica Jones is going to be coming. Luke Cage. All those people are coming in.
Punish. They announced Punish was going to be on Disney Plus.
Have you? Which is sad because Disney Plus caps out at PG-13. Have you caught the best thing though? We have the first official X-Men appearing. Officially, in Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Ursa Major confirmed to be the first official X-Men.
No. Deadpool's officially in the MCU.
Deadpool is, but he also in Black Widow, Ursa Major's character.
I think the Deadpool commercial came out first with him and Korg.
They're calling.
That's right. Yes. I forgot. I was like, where are you going with this?
But they're all calling Ursa Major as the first one. That's all the media outlets.
Who's Ursa Major? Did I miss
bear.
Something?
He's a guy who turns himself into a giant bear. He doesn't appear as the bear in the movie, but apparently in Black Widow, spoiler alert, I haven't seen it yet. I know plenty of people who haven't told me what happens.
I watched Black Widow. I remember seeing a guy
transforming. He doesn't appear as a bear. He appears with David Harbour's character. I'm blanking on the name right now. But he gets away from the table and calls that guy a giant bear. Confirmed that was Ursa Major. They never call him it, but they confirmed it. That is 100% Ursa Major.
I remember that scene. That never even occurred to me.
Giant guy. I only know because Google likes to put a lot of stuff out there, and they said Ursa Major confirmed to be first. As you move into the MCU, and it's like, what? Where was Ursa Major there? And in Black Widow. I'm never seeing it, so I don't care.
I'm going to watch it because my buddy loaded it onto his Plex server, and I may or may not have access to this Plex server.
Let me know what you think of it. I'm sure I'll see it eventually, but I have no interest.
Here's my honest opinion of it. I caved and I spent the $30 on Disney Plus.
I was about to.
Shocking. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. However,
but it wasn't good. Here's the problem: when you say it's not bad, you're not saying it's good.
Here's my honest opinion. Here's my honest opinion. If it came out before Infinity War, it would have had a bigger impact.
Yes, it's the timing makes no sense, and I've been saying that since they announced it.
Because people, I think, were hoping for this film to be like, oh, it's the multiverse. She didn't die. You know, all this stuff. And I don't want to give spoilers too much, but this film is pretty much saying she's done playing Black Widow. Black Widow ain't coming back.
That Black Widow's not coming back. For the love of God, give me one with a Russian accent. I pray on all is holy in the multiverse. Give me one with a Russian accent. I like my Black Widows. Ice comrade.
Now,
ooh, maybe Lana could play Black Widow.
Here's what I liked about Black Widow. I will say this. The post-credit scene is going to set up for Hawkeye.
That's my opinion from the Hawkeye show.
Well,
I know. Brian, I already know the post-credit scene. I've already seen it. I already know what happens. So.
With Julie Louis-Dreyfus?
Yeah. Again, we don't know if that's setting up Thunderbolts or Dark Avengers. Could go either way.
I think it's both. I think they're going to somehow combine the Dark Avengers with the Thunderbolts.
Because listen, only thing I'm hoping for is Great Lake Avengers, because I want Deadpool and Bertha on my movie screen at some point.
I want the West Coast Avengers. I want my Nathan Fillion. But no, he's doing Suicide Squad.
That means nothing.
That's a one-off, officially announced a one-off movie.
Is it only a one-off movie?
Officially announced, James Gunn plans that as a one-off movie, the way it should be. The Suicide Squad movies, if they're going to change, should change each time. That's the Suicide Squad, should always be a one-off. But also, I think it could be a one-off again, because I think they're doing Crisis on Infinite Earths. Everything's in play there. Where Marvel's doing the multiverse, I think DC knew that and said, fine. We're going to end up doing Crisis. Don't roll your eyes. Crisis is a good thing. It's not injustice,
but they already did it. They did it on The Flash and Supergirl and Arrow.
Yeah, doesn't matter because the movies and the TV shows are separate, and they've already said that. Their own stupid fault, not me, because they did it excellent on TV. Excellent. I agree with you. They did it. Mwah!
You know what? I might be okay with this, because when I first heard that the Flash film was going to be called Flashpoint, I said, they just did this on television like 2 weekends ago. Like, it was like when the Flash, they were like, it was the Flashpoint episode.
Is this movie ever fucking coming out? I've been hearing about it for the last decade.
Yes, after 9,000 rewrites, 4 directors, 1 Flash.
Look, it's either a Flash film or we're getting Batman the Halloween, because Michael Keaton's in it and they brought back the '86 Batmobile, and I saw pictures and
First off, we don't need that because we're already getting, but we have Long Halloween Part 1 and Long Halloween Part 2 coming. We don't need a live action version. We're getting the best version.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not going to be that. It's just that they've been promoting this whole, Michael Keaton's back as Bruce Wayne. Here's the Batmobile.
I only want one thing from Batman. I only want 2 things from this. If we're having more Batman, I only want 2 things, and that's Tara Strong as Harley Quinn. And do I need to say the other one if I'm saying Tara Strong as Harley Quinn?
You don't. But you know what I want? What I want more than that? If you're going to give me another friggin' Batman movie, which we do not need another Batman movie in any universe.
Well, also, in case you guys haven't, not to cut you off, buddy, in case you haven't heard, drama on the Batman.
I heard that too.
Not getting along. But I'm sorry, Dozer, go on.
What we need is we don't need another Batman. We don't need another Bruce Wayne Batman. We need Batman Beyond.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a live-action Batman Beyond. I will sign up for that, and I'll be interested in watching it. Give me old man Bruce Wayne.
Under the red hood.
Well, let me ask you this then. Do you think the Flash film is setting up Batman Beyond?
I don't know. The Flash film would eventually have to come out.
Right, but I'm just saying with bringing in an older Bruce Wayne, Michael Keaton.
That's kind of what spawned the thought in my head, but I don't think so.
I think that's for Crisis. And again, Birds of Prey, I think, really showed Crisis's hand. I think the ending of that was too heavy-handed at showing that.
So, just to divert back to Marvel for a second, because a thought that was going through my head. It was said that Sharon Carter as a villain has not tested well from Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Boo!
Oh.
Do you think they will write their way out of this hole by saying it's a variant?
Yes.
Oh, well, now wait a minute. How?
It did not test well. People were not happy with her as a villain.
Why not? I love her as a villain. Boo!
Yeah, because here's the thing. This is like okay, Cap's dead. You know, the world came back from the snap. Like,
Cap's not dead. He's not dead.
So he's a variant? Are everyone variants?
No. Cap never died. Cap is an old man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now. Remember, in the comics, Cap gets old and becomes young again at some point. We do not. This is not Captain America getting shot coming out of the courthouse here. He's not dead. Continue.
Did you catch them rewriting timelines in Loki? Because Peggy Carter definitely was arrested.
Yeah.
Wait. When was
episode 1? Look in the background. Yes. You see Peggy Carter arrested.
Get out of here.
Hey, Peggy Carter. We don't know which one.
Yes.
I have to go back and rewatch that.
Remember, we also have a show coming now. We have a show coming out that could be one giant multiverse.
What if?
What if?
Yeah. And actually, they did announce, that just came out, I think, yesterday, 2 days ago, they did say that What If, even though it is animated, is considered canon in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, because they just made the multiverse. The real question with the multiverse, we're all wondering. You guys are both wondering this. You can admit it after I say this. There's a real question here. We know the Multiverse of Madness is coming. We know the director. Who's he playing? We know Bruce Campbell's in it, baby.
Oh,
Who's he playing? So don't cut him, please. Please don't cut him. Give me Bruce Campbell's entering the MCU, baby.
I forgot Sam Raimi's directing Doctor Strange, too.
Oh, and it's going to be... That's why I was like, I don't know if I'm excited for this. Glorious!
Isn't he directing the new Spider-Man movie, too?
No, which one?
No Way Home, the new one. The new,
I don't believe he is.
Yes, he is.
Is he? He's directing it?
That's what I thought.
Oh, well then,
hold on.
Bets are off. Now I'm excited. I didn't know that. I'm in on that one because
we've talked about this before.
Because I knew he was doing Spider-Man.
This thing.
I knew he was doing Spider-Man. I didn't think he was doing Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness.
Yes. No. He signed on officially to Multiverse of Madness. I didn't know he was doing Spider-Man. If he was, I don't think he's the head director. I think he's involved in it because, well, we all know who's going to be in it.
Hold on, we're pulling up his filmography. No, we are wrong because Spider-Man is not listed on here.
I know he's helping out with it. I think he's helping out with it. He's a consultant of some sort because he 100% multiverse. It was a big deal because there was a director that backed out and almost immediately they were like, Sam Raimi's directing Multiverse of Madness. First off, we know the car's going to be in it. He always has that car in every movie. And 2, Bruce Campbell's coming.
We're getting Ashley.
Now, here's my question. Would you rather see Bruce Campbell make an appearance as A, Bruce Campbell, B, Ash, or C, a Doctor Strange variant?
I'm going to tell you this. I'm just going to answer you this. Marvel, Evil Dead, Army of Darkness versus the Marvel Zombies.
Yeah.
Well, I am going...
I only want... But to be fair, he has said himself... I don't think that's true. If anyone's still listening to us, right, go on here. To be fair...
People are listening.
He has said flat out, he is done playing Ash. He's an executive producer on the new show. He's done playing Ash.
So look.
But it's Bruce Campbell, so grab your salt shaker with that one. Or should I say, because it's Bruce Campbell, salt your margaritas with that one.
I'm going to add a D and an E of the 2 characters I want to see him play.
Please.
I would like to see some Chuck Finley.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Or, I'm just saying, it's the multiverse. Why not give us some Bubba Hotep?
And Pierre Pierce is Elvis. Done.
Oh, that's
Done.
it. That's it right there. Right there. Make it rain. Yes, I will pay to see that movie.
You know what's funny
oh
though?
my
I
God.
actually think one of us said the right thing. Brian said something I think I agree with. Can you imagine turning around? Yo, come on, Strange. Don't you have anything to say? Turn around.
And it's
Bruce freaking Campbell.
That's what I'm saying, because he's got like the hair, and I can just see him like it looks like he's wearing the same costume as Strange, and he's a variant.
It could be anything. What are you talking about? This? My father's at a garage sale. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Bruce Campbell can do it. Listen, he did say, he teased everybody, I've been London filming something for a certain film. Isn't this just a wonderful day where Doctor Strange happened to be filming? Again, his part could be cut. It's happened before with Raimi films. Specifically, it happened with Quick and Dead. He filmed scenes that were cut from the end. But I'm just excited for Multiverse of Madness because Sam Raimi, in my book, can do no wrong. That man makes a great movie.
Speaking of another type of multiverse, I'm very indifferent with this movie that I just watched the other night. I watched Space Jam: A New Legacy.
No,
I'm sorry for your loss.
Well, I like Space Jam.
No. Here's the thing. I love the original Space Jam.
You were young. Doesn't count.
This Space Jam, I'm indifferent. At first, I was like, okay, I get where they're going. This is funny. I love the Looney Tunes. The humor's there. And then I'm more and more I'm watching, and I start to realize it is nothing but a huge advertising movie to subscribe to HBO. Because if you look...
Shit, that's all the first Space Jam was.
To be fair,
no. This one, though, it's all about a video game. And Don Cheadle is this.
You do know algorithm. Space Jam was based off a commercial, right?
Yeah.
To be fair, to have a dissenting opinion, I actually listen. I'm not saying it was a fantastic movie. I really enjoyed Space Jam: A New Legacy. Remember, the problem is our generation has it as we have a nostalgia factor with the original Space Jam that not everyone's going to. This had again, there's so much going on in the background. This focused on, I don't want to say the story is a little more, they focused more on the family element. It had a more family element to it.
Right.
I love Fast and the Furious. I was waiting for Vin Diesel to make an appearance.
Family.
Well, but I'm just saying like the whole, like they dropped like Harry Potter, they dropped the Iron Giant, they dropped King Kong. Like
that's because it was all Warner Brothers. If you notice, it was
that's the other thing too. This is like a huge Warner Brothers market, or HBO own Warner Brothers owns HBO.
Yeah, more than I think being that with anything, I think it was more just these are the properties we can easily get. That's why it was funny and made sense. I thought it was a fine movie. I had no problem with most of what they did with it. Yeah, it gets a little, it gets the whole cheesy heart thing, be yourself and blah, blah, blah. I will admit, part of me was hoping for at least a poster of him. Something.
I was hoping that Bill Murray would have made a cameo. That would have made the film. If they got Bill Murray to come back.
He made a cameo in the sense that it was a picture during the credits.
I saw that. I was like, all right. I did see that.
I think they wanted to shy away because they kept giving the wink and the nods to, haven't we done this before?
Right.
But I liked what they did. Honestly, I really did. I'll be honest. I wish Don Ball was a video game. I'd play the hell out of that. That looked like fun.
That does look fun. I would play that basketball game too.
I like Space Jam: A New Legacy. I did. I don't think it's, as far as the multiverse go, I think it's just easy to do all those properties because, again, with a lot of things, we have access to them. It's just easy. Well, I was a fan of it. Honestly, I didn't hate it. I thought it was fine. I didn't think it felt a little long in the tooth, but not terribly.
Well, and then they had like the montage of rounding up all the Looney Tunes characters, and they were like in different films. I thought that was funny, but then it did drag out. I'm like, okay, like how many more do we have to do? Like the Austin Powers one was hysterical because it was Elmer Fudd.
There was a lot of them were funny. I didn't feel long in the tooth. What to me felt long in the tooth is when you start getting into the whole family element.
Oh yeah.
Family.
The game itself was a little long when you got to the end. How they obviously we know the good guys are going to win, so
right.
It just that to me is where it felt a little long in aspects. I just thought overall it was a very entertaining movie. I was a fan. I know a lot of people our age aren't, but I think it's to an extent people. Well, it's nothing like the original Space Jam. It's not the 90s anymore.
Yeah, this is yeah.
Also, to everybody our age who didn't like it, let me just say one thing. The movie wasn't made for us.
True.
It was made for kids. It's a kids movie.
It's made with a younger audience in mind.
Yeah.
There wasn't like the beginning right away. There's not this. I believe I can fly. And hearing that, it was around. I didn't get to see it in theaters. I waited for weeks at Blockbuster for a video to be available.
Yeah.
And I ran in. I remember running right to it. Nothing. There it finally was, losing it. But that's the thing. Again, nostalgia factor. I thought it was great. I loved having, I almost called Kevin James LeBron.
Kevin James would have made it a better movie.
LeBron, King James. I am so sorry. Please forgive me.
LeBron James.
I don't have to worry about offending LeBron. He's not watching.
Kevin James.
It just,
it would have been a better movie. Tell me it wouldn't have been a better movie with Kevin
It would have
James.
been Paul Blart in basketball.
It wouldn't have been Paul Blart. It would have been not. It would have been Here Comes the Boom. Not Jolie, right here.
Oh yeah.
Been there, done that. Bought that shirt. Seen it. Enjoyed it. Great, fun movie. I like Kevin James movies, even though I hear he can be a jerk. I enjoyed it. But again, I was just a big Space Jam fan. Come on, the fact that Rick and Morty, baby.
That was good. I was like, no way. They threw in Rick and Morty.
I can't unsee the things I've seen. Really,
that
Morty?
Was funny.
Morty? You can't unsee Rick and Morty.
I did. I was like, okay, that was fun. That was, yeah. But see, there again, I'm like, Rick and Morty's on HBO Max. And, wouldn't you know, this movie is on HBO.
They're owned by Warner Brothers. It's a Warner Brother movie.
Warner Brothers owns Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I know.
Also,
again, that's why to me it's not a commercial. It's just we don't actually have to pay big money for these. We can just.
That's true. That's what this is like free advertising essentially. They're like, hey, we don't have to get. The only thing I think they had to pay for was the DeLorean for Back to the Future, because there was that one scene like score point or whatever, and they showed the DeLorean with the out of time license plate, and they had to get Universal for that.
There's certain in the background. There's a lot of things, Easter eggs. But frankly, I know we're getting off topic here. I personally enjoyed it. I actually was going to watch it again, even though I saw one of the best scenes ahead of time, Notorious P.I.G.
That was hysterical.
Funny
I was cracking up.
I wish they didn't release that ahead of time, because when he just gets handed the mic,
he goes to the stutter and then he's like,
but that's all, folks. I just thought the movie was. I like that we have a space, because we have that. See, again, I've told other people this. I didn't like it. I'm glad that a new generation will have that connection that we had to the original Space Jam.
Yeah,
right.
It's with a lot of these reboots. They're not made for us.
And honestly, the original Space Jam, if I remember, that was even kind of like corny and cheesy too.
Very.
We were kids.
I know.
I'm an adult and I love that crap.
Yeah.
I love corny and cheesy.
Well, there's nothing wrong with corny and cheesy. I'm just saying. I feel like this film definitely had the corny cheesiness that I'm like, wait a minute. Did the original one have that too? Because I love the original one.
Seeing some newer episodes of Looney Tunes with like my niece and nephew, this had the less I will say this had it again, just like the newer episodes, had less of that classic Looney. It was Looney Tunes, but less of a classic vibe than we were used to growing up with.
Yes.
You know what it is? They were missing Pepe Le Pew in this movie. That's what the problem was.
We are not discussing that. No, and also Gabriel Iglesias voice Speedy. We had Gabriel Iglesias for Christ's sake. Hell yeah! With Fluff in it, you got me, baby.
And throughout that whole thing, there was somebody as he was doing the voice acting going, "Can you make that a little spicier?"
We just need a little bit more spice in your step. We need a little extra kick.
It was definitely. I enjoyed it. I'm a fan. I would suggest watching it compared to some other HBO movies I've watched, where I was like, oh god, this was free.
But the other big thing is this is the first of those HBO Max released straight to HBO Max movies that was not intended to be the big budget watch on a big screen blockbuster. It was going to be a blockbuster in theaters. But it would never have been a Kong vs. Godzilla
or
a Tom and Jerry.
Wasn't a bad movie. You know what? I will defend. Was not a bad movie at all.
This was on the level of Tom and Jerry. This was no Mortal Kombat.
Space Jam. When Little Rel came in, what are you doing here? I lost it. I'm like, Little Rel is color commentary. I am here. This is awesome.
All I'm going to say, I've not seen either movie, but Tom and Jerry is not made for long format. They are a short format duo.
You know what? It's really not that. I gotta tell you, it's really not that bad. It's watchable. It's not I'm not saying it's an amazing movie, but it actually moves a pretty good clip.
I have to agree with Bruce. It works. I don't know how.
We agree.
It was one of those movies where I'm like, how am I watching this and actually saying, my God, it actually works. I would say, no, I'm not going to, I'm like, there's no way they can pull this off because exactly what I thought, they are short segments. How are they going to make a full-length feature film with two cartoon characters?
They've had four other flops trying.
They've had other flops trying, but it worked with this is one of the times having the humans in it really did work with them.
Yeah.
Compared to there's been some other movies that I've seen on HBO, one in particular that I just felt I've seen live in person that I was like, oh God, this is long. Like, come on. In the Heights.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Switching gears, In the Heights felt very long on film to me, where Tom and Jerry went by Space Jam. I did not feel like I was watching it for an hour and a half.
You're right.
I will just say, in general, movie musicals always seem long because it's never natural.
They cut half the stuff, but just in general, it felt very long because it is a long thing. Listen, again. There's no intermission. It's different. I know it's different, but I'm just saying, and I'm just using that one as a recent example. There's been other things I've seen on there. There was another movie I saw with oh God, I forget who was in it. Oh man, I was like, am I still watching this? How? It's been 4 days.
That's not a nice way to talk about the Snyder Cut. That really did last 4 days, though.
Part of me, it's like Cats. It's not the movie than the actual stage musical. It's like Cats. Part of me is still there actually watching it, stuck in limbo forever.
That is one of the. I can't stand that musical. I don't like the story.
I gotta tell you, movie wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be because it's not good. Don't get me wrong. It's not great. If you're watching, folks, please, if you're a fan of Cats, I don't mean to offend you. God forbid Andrew Lloyd Webber's watching this. I love you.
He's not.
Yeah, I know he's not. He's too busy.
We're not there yet.
No, he's too busy about worried about his musical getting canceled.
Which musical?
Cinderella has been stopped due to COVID, and he's really urging people to help it. I thought it was a London cast recording. Now the concept recording's out. It's actually not bad. I'm an Andrew Lloyd Webber fan, but still, Cats is not as bad as you think it will be. It's not great, but it's really not as bad as you think. Because
I just don't need those nightmares. I do not need those nightmares.
Trust me on this. Part of me still at the Neil Simon Theater, watching the revival of Cats. I left my body during Mungo, Jelly, and Rumple teaser and went, "You knew what you were getting into, idiot!"
So, is the rest of your body still watching Bob Backlund give his Hall of Fame speech?
But I will be forever at Madison Square Garden. I'm going to die and wake up and go, how am I still here?
But in other streaming things that are not made for us but are shockingly not too terrible, the reboot of Rugrats is not terrible.
Really?
Wait, what channel is this on?
Paramount Plus.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right. I think I did see. Is this the one that's like 3D?
It's modern animation. It's the 3D bullshit, but
Okay. Now, did they redo episodes into 3D animation? Or
I've
is it
only
all-
watched one episode so far. They did not redo it. Everything is redone. It's all the
Oh,
original
so
voices of the baby.
That's what I was
It's the
that's what I
episode
was
I
asking,
watched
like-
with you.
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like, are these the original episodes just redone in the 3D
No.
format, or are they brand new episodes?
They're brand new
No.
episodes, but it's a brand new series. Everything is different.
They've
Huh.
changed a lot.
So instead of Grandpa Pickles instead of Stu living with Stu and Dee Dee, it's the other way around. They live with him. They're millennials. They can't afford to live on their own.
He makes toys for a
Oh.
living. A toy maker would not be able to afford their own place.
He's
also a hippie.
Yeah, he's a hippie. He's no longer a war vet. He's a hippie. They made the change that we all knew. We all knew back in the day that Betty was a lesbian.
So
Now- She's actually a lesbian now. There is no Howard.
Same character, snarky as hell, and you love it.
Does she have a partner in the show, or is it
No.
just her?
Not yet.
Just
that
her
is
so
totally
far.
fine.
I wonder if they're going to turn a woman that looks like Howard.
I don't know.
No,
they made,
that would look too much like Dee Dee.
they made Chucky's dad a little better of a character, shockingly.
Do they have Susie in this, or is this?
Yes.
Oh, Susie, right from day one. They're not even
no,
they're not
everyone's
waiting
there.
a season
Everyone-
to
I'm
introduce a
sorry.
black character.
Oh, not Susie. I'm sorry, Kim. Remember in Rug? they
Nope.
don't have. Okay.
It's the season 2 cast.
Okay.
So Susie's there, but
No Kim, no
Bill isn't, Kimmy isn't, Finster's wife isn't,
Okay.
but you do have, you have Cynthia returning. You need that stupid doll. You have,
Angelica.
oh yeah,
Spike.
she's,
Do they have Spike?
no.
Yes. I'm pretty
I've
sure
only
it's-
watched one episode, so
Okay.
it isn't terrible, but also
He's only watched one episode, by the way, Brian. I was at his house. I watched it too. So
Yes.
that's the only reason I know any of this is because I was with him.
the other problem,
Ah!
the problem I have with the show is it's one 30-minute episode versus two 15-minute episodes.
All right.
They're a little too long for a kid's show. As somebody who has
Gotcha.
watched a ton of kid shows lately, because I have one,
Brian,
they're too long.
Quick Google search, Spike is in the show.
Spike is in the show.
Yeah, quick Google search, Spike's in it.
All right. I'll have to watch it. I just finished another series that I just finished. Fear Street. Do you guys watch Fear Street on Netflix? Yo, they did a
I
great job
love
on.
Fear Street was honestly, it kept me engaged. It didn't feel long, and frankly, I was a fan. I love the homages. Come on, spoiler. Fear Street Part 2. Once she said, "Oh, come on, Tommy," I'm like, it's right there, kids. I love
Now-
you. You wrote a young adult slasher. You wrote a teen slash. They made a teen slasher that we would enjoy.
Well, have you read the
Awesome.
book? Have you read the books?
No.
You need to read the books. The books are awesome. 'Cause they're
Long time
written by
ago,
R.L.
Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Not at this stage of my life. That's not happening.
They'll take
Read-
you 35 minutes each.
Yeah, but I read, but it's not as much as I'd like to. But no, Fear Street.
They're the
Honestly,
length of Goosebumps.
I know,
Yeah.
but I really.
They're
like what I
actually
see.
a little bit more adult than Goosebumps. That's the
I
thing
know.
love.
I can't go. You guys know me. I cannot go backwards. I can't read the book. It'll ruin the movies. I like the movies. I want to read the
Well, the book. No. Well, the thing is, so the show is based off the book series. So the book, there's a book series just like Goosebumps.
I know that. I know the show is based off. I know the 3 movies are based off the books, but I
Right.
don't go backwards well. I really don't, and I don't want to do that. I read Jurassic Park in college before ever.
Oh.
Well, that's a mistake.
Before I saw the movie, and didn't like it because I read the book. I don't translate well. If I see the stage show, I saw Mean Girls on Broadway. I never liked the movie when I finally saw it. I don't translate well.
The movie came out before Broadway, though. How did you not see the movie?
I haven't seen it. It was not in my repertoire, if you will.
Look, but Jurassic Park, the book, as somebody who watched them the other way, saw the movie, then read the book.
Me too.
Yeah. The book is massively better than the movie.
Yeah, it is.
so much. That was the
Yeah,
problem.
different
I read it
level.
first.
Both books.
It's not even the same story almost.
Except, for the "We are dinosaurs."
Yes. And like Jurassic Park, the movie, ain't even the definitive version of Jurassic Park. I think Jurassic World's a better Jurassic Park than Jurassic
And
Park.
honestly, I feel
disagree.
like the whole Jurassic World series is taking elements from the book that they forgot to put in the original movie from the book.
So-
if that makes sense.
The way I view the series as happening is you have Jurassic Park, Jurassic World 2. The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3 just never happened.
I don't know. I still think they're gonna reference it because
They forgot
No,
there was
wait.
another island of dinosaurs.
You can reference it, but that doesn't
But yeah,
mean you can
but see-
reference it without it actually existing.
But
World never acknowledges and blatantly ignores the fact that there was a second island.
Can we just
not in
accept?
this film, not Dominion. Dominion, they actually go to the second island because of what happened to the volcano at Isla Nublar.
Listen, we
So they're
just
going to
need
the second island in the third film.
We just need to accept one thing. Jurassic World is a superior movie because Jimmy Buffett. You're welcome.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Come on! Hand
Yes.
me the margaritas! Come on, man!
I'll never forget. I remember this too because I went to see it in the IMAX, and I had no idea Jimmy Buffett was in this film. The only thing that I do remember is when I'm watching it, I was like, "Oh, there's Margaritaville. That's cool because it's like Universal Studios, like an homage." Ha ha ha. But then the one scene where he's actually taking the 2 margaritas, I was like, "That's Jimmy Buffett."
Yeah. I saw him I saw them like that guy looked familiar, but I didn't recognize
That
him.
looks
Later
like Jimmy
on,
Buffett.
Dozer goes to me. Did you notice Jimmy Buffett? That's who that was.
I was like, that is the best cameo ever. That's up there
it's
with
great.
like, oh yeah.
Bill Murray, Stanley. It just that dad was excellent. I liked it because of how subtle it was, but
Yeah,
So-
they should have put. You know what? They should have put Jimmy Buffett in every Jurassic World movie.
They should put Jimmy Buffett in every movie.
That's not a bad idea.
No. Not should. He'd do it. That's the thing.
Hold
Jimmy
on.
Buffett would do everything if he could. Jimmy Buffett will do anything for $1. Right now, if you said, by the way, if you do 10 jumping jacks, I'll give you $1. 10 jumping jacks going to happen in front of you.
All right. So
Well,
here's
I'm just making it perfect right now. Multiverse of Madness. Bruce Campbell's the Jimmy Buffett variant.
Yes.
with the Hawaiian shirt. I love it. No, I was just gonna ask, like, in all serious though, like, if Jimmy Buffett were to be in a Marvel film, what film would you put him in? I have one in particular.
What film
I
has a
just wanna hear what-
volcano?
What is it?
So what
Joe
film
versus
has a
the-
volcano?
No, I'm talking about Marvel. Oh, what film has a
Has a
volcano?
volcano.
What Marvel film? I mean, the only one I can think of is Star Wars from Mustafar.
The
but-
Incredibles.
No, I'm
Is that-
joking.
is that Marvel, though? That's
No,
not
I'm
Marvel.
joking because I was also going to say he'd be better in Justice League. King Shark, fins, go for it.
Well, I was just thinking, like, and this is, I mean, it's not something to do with his songs or anything like that. I just thought putting him in Guardians of the Galaxy because of the music. And he's in like
I could see Buffett, but again, if he appeared, he'd probably be around singing or something to do with one of the.
Like,
everyone knows, or there has to be some association. Who's holding margaritas, a burger? There has to be association with the music.
Well,
because that's how most people recognize him.
Well, here's how I would put him in.
I am no parrot head, by the way. I like him. I'm a huge Buffett fan. I am no parrot head.
Well, see, this is where I put the creativity to work. In Guardians of the Galaxy, he's an alien that looks like a parrot wearing a Hawaiian shirt singing.
Sure, go for it. Listen, unfortunately, part of me is, again, left my body. Part of me is still watching Margaritaville off Broadway. So
we're gonna shoehorn them in because Multiverse, I think, is going to incorporate some subtle Disney references. Or the Guardians movies, and we're going to make him the fat alien from Lilo and Stitch.
Jumba?
Yeah.
I like that.
See, I like, as much as I like that, let David Ogden steers. Come on.
Well, he can't record new lines, so...
No joke. I can see that, though. I'd be okay with that. Or, are you sure we don't want to have him in Tiki Room?
In the Tiki Room? I can do that.
You know what? That's it, because that's the under new management is be Jimmy Buffett in the Enchanted Tiki Room and friends. Like, that's it. That's the new room.
I'd be okay with that Tiki Room because it would be equipped with the margarita machine.
Yes.
And now here's the other thing too. If they brought Jimmy Buffett into the Enchanted Tiki Room, I would assume then the entire show is the Enchanted Tiki Room singing Jimmy Buffett music.
I am for this.
I am for this too, actually.
I'm just saying it. We got Volcano. We got a bunch of hits. Cheeseburger in Paradise. We got all the hits. Jimmy Buffett. Come on. There's an album literally called "Songs You Know by Heart" of his best hits.
I'm actually all for this. If they updated the Enchanted Tiki Room with his greatest hits, and then have some sort of duet voiceover. It doesn't obviously it's not going to be Jimmy Buffett in the show, but
why not?
Well,
it could be. Again, he'll do anything $1, but also let's face it, it doesn't matter because if they get rid of the Tiki Room, cheap ass Chapek's just going to make it something different, something cheap.
Hey, this Iago still works.
Oh God.
Also, I would like to state we went way off the rails because we're the Disidiots and we found our way south. Back at the world. Oh, that's what the Disidiots do, baby.
Yeah.
I was going to take us a little more off the rails and just ask, of the movies coming up, what movie would get you back to theaters?
Disney films?
Any movie. I have mine.
I have two right off the bat. I got the two that'll bring me back.
Okay, what are they?
Theaters.
Well, I mean, are we allowed to dream movies?
No, it has to be a movie you know is coming out soon.
Lame, because I have three. If I'm allowed to will one into existence, Return of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Come on, Kia, do your part, people. Right to MGM. Anyway, I'm just gonna say my two because they're nice and easy. One, Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings. I am here. That's going to be great. No problem.
Really?
Also, Fing Fing. I want some Fing Fang Foom in my life. Two, this is very simple. This is very easy. I didn't see The Purge Forever in theaters. There's a lot of movies I've missed in theaters. I will not miss Ghostbusters for anything in my life.
Ooh.
My favorite movie growing up, I will not miss Ghostbusters Afterlife. I will be there. Mark my words. Ghostbusters, baby. Who you gonna call?
I actually have to agree with you on that. Definitely Ghostbusters.
I'm going to be different. Bruce might know where I'm going with this, but I can tell you where I will be November 19th. I will be at an IMAX theater, finally watching the much-delayed, often talked about Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
There is no movie that deserves a big screen more than that.
I agree that I can understand that. I'm still Ghostbusters. I will do anything for Ghostbusters.
Have you guys ever gone to a 4DX theater?
Yes.
No.
Is it worth it?
So I just sit the row behind the 4D and you get all the effects really without actually being shaken.
I'm not a believer in that. I like 3D. I do like 3D. The 4D is kind of just, I don't need that.
And when they say shaking your chair, I mean, does your chair move side to side?
You're
Or is it just...
physically moving. It's a little jarring actually watching them in some of these movies.
If I'm watching 4D, I need to be firmly in a Kuka arm.
Okay.
Like, they're shaking you a little bit more than you'd say, "Oh, hi, puppy."
Oh, yeah, that's Charlie. That's Charlie.
Oh, hi.
Yeah, that's Charlie.
But no, I would never pay the upcharge for it. But if you sit the row in front of it or the row behind it, it's like having a rumble pack, so you have that at least without paying the upcharge.
It's like a rumble pack.
That's
it's DK64.
Yeah.
But honestly, if I'm going to a theater anymore, I'm probably going to one that serves me food and alcohol.
See, I can't do that because the one around here that serves food and alcohol are not fluffy, friendly seats, if you know what I mean. I actually saw Deadpool 2 there, and that was the appropriate length because my butt was starting to go. It was not comfortable.
See, most of the theaters around here have gone full luxury theater. So if you're not in a dining location, which even those are kind of luxury, you're in full Barca loungers.
Oh, the Starplex in Ridgefield Park is full, nice, like I have at home, nice big recliners. That's where, actually, the last thing I saw there, I think, was either it or Don't Breathe. I forget whichever came out first.
I will say, having gone to one of them where instead of giant Barca loungers, you had giant love seats, that was a bit, I know what's happened on this couch. I feel dirty.
Yeah.
Do they really want me
and
to?
It's all like sticky and you can't get up. Yeah.
That's not, no. One person chairs, please.
Yeah.
But no, Top Gun Maverick, I will be there. I will see it in IMAX. That is what I need to do.
That looks like a good IMAX film to see.
Only because of what it is.
I'm also sitting here looking at the cast, being amazed at how much Miles Teller looks like Goose.
Yes.
Like, disturbingly.
Yeah. Uncanny.
Talk to me, Goose.
Oh.
So.
But we've been going on for an hour and a half, so I think it might be time to end.
It is time to end this, however.
We need some Halloween Horror Nights updates.
Bruce is here with your Halloween Horror Nights updates. We had 2 house announcements last week. Bride of Frankenstein Lives is returning this year. It's probably the same house that appeared last year at the Halloween event, like Revenge of the Tooth Fairy, which is still rumored. But Bride of Frankenstein Lives. However, the other house announced, we don't know, you might have heard of this house before, based on the original movie, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, they say all new scares, appropriate. Even though that's from Five Nights at Freddy's, appropriate. Appropriate. It's based on the original movie. It says all new scares. I don't mention the House of 2016 at all, which makes me think because this one's rumored to be in the soundstage, I believe actually sharing the soundstage with, I believe, Tooth Fairy. Or it was sharing with Bride and 2/3 of the Icons. Doesn't matter. It's in a soundstage instead of the Sprung tent, so I think they're going to do more. I personally expect the sound to be the Last Chance rest stop. But based on the original movie, if you haven't ever watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and even online it says it's based on the original film. Masterpiece. Tobe Hooper, however you say his name. Wow. But on top of that, we have a new speculation map that's out there. Rumor has it, we now know all 10 houses, a lot of which are mostly the same. That 10th house, however, has been up for debate. Creepshow, Halloween 3, Halloween Kills. Here it's none of it. Apparently, original house themed to legendary truth. The Legendary Truth coming back would, depending on how you count it, give us a count of 6 or 7 originals to 3 or 4 IP. Sounds like we are in for one heck of a year. And for those who are interested, depending on your size, I don't know if all sizes are available for the shirts. There are 3 shirts available on shopuniversal.com for Halloween Horror Nights. You have the Jack's Back shirt. I'm Jack's on Back shirt. You have the Haunting of Hill House, Bride of Frankenstein Lives. Nothing on Texas Chainsaw Massacre just yet. If there is, I will update you because I love me some Sawyer family. I am excited about returning to Texas because, oh man, I loved that house in 2016. If this is going to be better, we're in for it. And I hear Bride of Frankenstein Lives is pretty good. Again, we don't know what COVID protocols are going to be from last year. Most think it's going to be the same house. We will see. Coming Fast and Furious. On Thursdays, look for announcements. We are coming. They are doing work on scare zones right now. Work is being done in Fear Factor stage.
I'm just afraid you said Fast and Furious.
No, Fear Factors. The Fear Factor live stage. I hear rumors. It could be
Bill and Ted.
Excellent. If it is, you heard it here. And if you want Halloween Horror Nights news, I got your back. I'm going. I hope to see you down there. If you're down there with me, meet me at Finnegan's.
Woo!
Halloween Horror Nights is coming. Praise Jesus. Don't ever go alone. Praise Jesus, it's coming. The wait's almost over. We're almost there, baby. We're within 2 months. This is really happening. Couldn't be more excited if I tried.
I can tell you are very excited.
I'm sorry. I love Horror Nights. I just love Horror Nights to death. I really just do.
But, with that wonderful Halloween Horror Nights update, we have been the Diz Idiots. I'm Dozer. He's Bruce. That is Brian. And just as our final message,